Hey guys, it's me, Miss Mills, and welcome to Mrs. Mills' Math Time. The whole point of this video is to help you out with IXL Z15. Everyone has to do this IXL, and you have to get it to 90%. And what it is it's you're gonna have to write linear equations based off of word problems. So again, if y'all remember, the slope-intercept form that you're looking for is y equals mx plus b, where when we find the slope, that's where we would substitute into m. When we find our y-intercept, we would substitute that for b. So guys, what you're looking for here is you're looking for certain keywords that is going to help you out with the word problems. You need to be able to identify what is the slope of this word problem, what is the y-intercept of this word problem. And I'm going to help you out real quick, guys. When you're looking for the slope, that is going to be your rate of change, okay? That is how much something is either going to cost per something, how many miles per hour, while the y-intercept is going to be like a starting value, like a let's say you wanted to buy a phone, well, you had to pay like a $40 down payment. That's your y-intercept, but then you had to pay $30 per month after that. That is your slope. So your y-intercept is your starting value. It's how much you already had saved in the bank account, where you started from. While your slope is how much you either pay per week or how much you run per minute, fun stuff like that. It is your rate of change, okay? So we need to be able to identify in a word problem, oh, is this the rate of change or is this the starting value? Well, let's figure that out, and we're going to practice that. So there's a couple ways you can get to this IXL. One way, you can go to your to-do list and click a link, or you can click the link already in your Google Classroom. Since I'm here, I'm just going to click the link from here, and let's go ahead and get started. So Alexandra runs 7 miles during each track practice. Write an equation that shows the relationship between practices X and distance Y. All right, so here is our equation, our slope-intercept form. I have that written down here. We need to find our slope and our y-intercept. But as you could tell, there's only one number here. So we need to figure out, is that our slope or is that our y-intercept? Well, it says she runs 7 miles during each track practice. So that means per practice, she runs 7 miles. So if she had, 2 practices, she would have ran a total of 14 miles, stuff like that. This isn't a starting anything. There's nothing in this word problem that it was a starting amount. It literally just says every practice she runs 7 miles. So how many practices she has will depend on how much she has ran total. This is going to be your rate of change. This is your slope. So we have her slope, and then there's no y-intercept here because if she didn't go to practice, she wouldn't run anything. So this y-intercept would be 0, okay? So here, again, we would substitute our slope where m is. Again, our b value is 0. So our equation is going to end up being y equals, our slope again was 7 miles. Drop down that x because it's attached to the slope to the hip. And there you go, guys. It's y equals 7x. So I'll come back in here and I'll type that in. 7x. Woohoo, well done, yay. All right, the next one says, Tisha has already baked 2 pies, and she can bake 1 pie with each additional cup of sugar she buys. Write an equation that shows the relationship between the additional cups of sugar x and the number of pies y. All right, cool. So we have 2 numbers here. That means we have a slope and a y-intercept in this problem. Well, let's locate the correct one. All right, so it says Tisha has already baked 2 pies. Okay, so before she started this problem, she already had 2 pies made. That means that is her starting amount. When you have a starting amount like that, guys, that is going to be your y-intercept. So our y-intercept is 2 pies. She started out with 2 pies. So using that information, I'm going to put y equals. We haven't found the slope yet, but we know our y-intercept is plus 2 because she started out with 2 pies. But then it says she can bake 1 pie with each additional cup of sugar. So that means with each cup of sugar, she can bake 1 pie. So using that information, X, again, is our additional cups of sugar. So our rate of change is going to be 1 pie per cups of sugar. So using that information, 1 is our slope. It is our rate of change. Therefore, I found our rate of change, which was 1. I substitute it where m is in this problem. So our equation is y equals 1x plus 2. But if you wanted to make that smaller, guys, remember you can get rid of that 1 because if you have an x value by itself, you have to automatically assume that there is a 1 attached to it because you can't have 0x. If you have 0x, that doesn't exist. You don't need it. So if you see an x by itself, you can automatically assume there has to be a 1 there. The x is going to piggyback off that 1. So here's our equation, y equals x plus 2. So let's type that in. Y equals x plus 2. All right, here's our next one. I'm going to write the problem down again. All right, Addison earns $2 for every cup of lemonade she sells. Write an equation that shows the relationship between the number of cups sold, which is X, and her earnings, Y. So guys, Addison has not already sold an amount of lemonade when this started. She earns $2 for every cup of lemonade she sells, but it doesn't tell us that she already had sold 4 cups of lemonade, okay? So we don't have a starting point. The starting point here is 0 because she hasn't sold any lemonade yet. But we do have a slope here, and our slope here is $2 per cup. That's our rate of change, is $2 per cup of lemonade she sells. So since we have found the slope, we can substitute that where m is, and that is 2 because it's $2, I believe. Yeah, $2 per cup. We need to bring down that x because it's attached to the hip. Again, she hasn't sold any cups of lemonade yet, so that our y-intercept is going to be 0 because she hasn't sold anything yet. 0. So here's our equation. We found the slope, and we put it into slope-intercept form. All right, so it says a person, we didn't even get a name this time. A person can pay $6 for a membership to the Science Museum, but then go to the museum for just $1 per visit. Okay, so guys, we have 2 numbers here, so we need to figure out what is our slope, what is our y-intercept. Well, again, guys, your y-intercept is the starting amount or how much you paid originally. So if you think about that, let me write down the equation real quick. It says a person can put down a down payment for $6 for the membership to the Science Museum. So that means you can go ahead and put down that $6 and you have that membership. And since you have that membership, each time you go to the museum is $1. So it's $1 per visit. But we have an original $6 we already spent. So our $6 is our y-intercept. That is our value when x is 0. You haven't been to the Science Museum yet, but if you go after paying that $6 for the membership, it's just $1 per visit. So our y-intercept here is $6. So I'm going to make sure to put $6 where b is in the equation. And now our slope, again, is going to be $1 per visit because, that's our rate of change. Each time you visit, you have to pay $1. So I'm going to substitute that where m is, and I'm going to bring down that x. Again, you don't have to have 1 on the x, and that's dollars. You don't have to have 1 next to the x because if you have an x by itself, it's automatically assumed that there's a 1 there. So I'm going to put an x. I'm going to add 6, and here's the equation we're looking for. Y equals x plus 6. You pay $6 for the membership, and then after that, you just pay $1 per visit. Honestly, that's a great deal. I would love that. All right, I'm going to do a couple more with y'all. Walter has already jarred 3 liters of jam. Cool, so we have a y-intercept there, guys, because he already had 3 bottles of jam already ready to go. And then it says he will jar an additional 2 liters of jam every day. So we have our original amount, 3 liters of jam. So y equals mx plus b, y equals. All right, so again, we already have an original value of 3 liters of jam already ready. That is going to be our y-intercept, so I can go ahead and put that in there. And then we can find the slope, and then because it says every day he will make 2 liters more of jam. So it's 2 liters of jam per day. Our rate of change is 2 liters. So I'm going to substitute 2 where m is. going to bring down that x. And guys, here's our equation. We found our slope, substituted where m is, found our y-intercept, substituted that where b is, and here's our equation. Y equals 2x plus 3. All right, so I'm going to see if it gets any harder. Yeah, we got to 80. Yeah, all right. I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 more with you. So this one says that Jacob has already read 12 books. Okay, he's already done this before we even got started. That means we have a base value of 12 books. He's already read those 12 books. Guys, if he's already done something, again, remember, that is a key word for saying that's your y-intercept. He's already done that. That's your starting amount. So 12 books. Cool. I'm going to put that where b is. Now, let's find our slope. I'm going to bring down this x. Let's find our slope. And then it says, oh, he read 12 books a year before joining the book club. But then he plans to read 2 books every month now that he's joined. Write an equation that shows the relationship between months x and total books read, which is y. So again, guys, per 1 month, he's going to read 2 books. So it's going to be 2 books per month. Our rate of change is going to be 2. Rate of change, again, is a fancy word for slope. So I'm going to substitute that where the slope is. And here's our equation. Y equals 2x plus 12. Cool. Y equals 2x plus 12. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty straightforward from here. Guys, if you have any questions about this, make sure that you let me know. Again, I hope y'all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you later. Bye.